I would say the last time you and I talked, you were basically saying that the fans didn't realize how big the season finale was going to be. And
I didn't realize.
You were right.
I didn't realize. In fact, Ian was the one that told me while we were shooting the season finale what was happening. Well, not when we were shooting the season finale. We were shooting like the episode before. He had told me, and I like a million things started. What happens next, and what's going to happen, and what are we going to do, and like you don't realize how big it's going to be,
Yeah, and I mean, Bonnie obviously had a big role in, aside from the Elaine things, but Bonnie with Klaus. There was an interesting situation there, so how is that going to play out this season?
He's a scary guy, but I do think that Bonnie's going to do what she has to do and continuously do what she has to do to protect her friends and her family, and obviously she made a deal with him, so that's either going to remain as it is, or it might shift, or something might happen, I mean, I know that fans are crazy about Klaus, so we'll see.
Well, is she going to have to kind of explain herself to her friends, given that he's now in Tyler's body, and...
Oh yeah, that conversation is going to have to happen. I don't know if you can really beat around the bush with something like that. Be like, oh yeah, by the way, he's not really dead. I just did a little switcheroo, but no big deal. Nothing, got it completely under control. Because I'm sure Bonnie's ever said that, or that all their plans always work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like that'd be troublesome for a friendship with Caroline, considering Caroline's relationship with both of those men. That could lead to some tension.
Could lead to some tension, or they could all be very understanding and have even bigger problems to deal with. I mean, if there's a bigger problem than Klaus, then you're really in for it. And I can say that there's an even bigger problem, I consider, than Klaus. Though Klaus is always a part of it.
He is a troublemaker.
He's such a troublemaker.
I mean, but this is what makes Vampire Diaries. There are a bunch of troublemakers just combined.
We all are.
A little bit in your own way.
We're all made for each other.
It's a nice dysfunctional family.
Totally.
So what do you kind of feel is the thing that fans should be most looking forward to in season 4? Oh
my gosh. Well, me as a fan of my own show.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. It's more of a fan of everyone else, really, more so. There's such huge changes. And Julie Plec always has huge twists and turns. I think about 8 per episode. I remember her telling me something like that, huge dun-dun-duns. But these are so massive. These characters are changing for the rest of their lives. They're becoming, they're different, Elena being a vampire, Bonnie going through changes, dealing with, the loss of her power and yada yada. It's just, these characters are going through such huge moments, and not just, I mean, they're, kind of in their last year of high school and just dealing with growing up and their relationships, and there's a lot of death, a lot of surprising death in the beginning. Just a huge transition time for the characters.
Is she going to be dealing well with Elena's transition? Speaking of transitions?
Define well.
I mean, that's true. For Bonnie, well can be a relative term.
I don't know if Bonnie deals with anything well anymore.
Which is fair. She's gone through a lot.
I don't know if it's necessarily the transition or what happens after the transition that has got Bonnie more upset and got Bonnie more freaked. It might be what is happening after or while it's happening that is freaking her out. There's certain things that are going to happen that you're going to see that are going to mind blow you, that are going to blow your mind. I've been reading these scripts, and just everything stops when I've been reading these scripts, because it's huge shifts in the characters and the storyline and the development. I don't know where they think of this stuff.